Hi everyone, Scorp here. Doing one last playthrough of Duelist the Roses Redux 2 before we go to Gemini 2. So I wanted to go through with the Pyro deck. I did just go ahead and enter these passwords to get an extra set of equips. This deck looked pretty solid when I looked through it just really quick. So I'll go through it real quick. There's two dragons. I don't know exactly what the dragons are here for, but they might be here for something. There's some zombies. There's a flame swordsman. A couple of these beasts are actually useful for fusions. We got a Mavelist, so we can make a Crimson Sunbird. This three-headed Guido and this machine is going to leave the deck. Because they are not useful for a deck like this. And then we can also take out like a three-legged zombie probably. Put those in. I just recommend putting in the passwords for extra equips. It makes your deck so much better. I'm not going to go do farming for a couple episodes. I want to go and actually farm Shoddy when we get to him. Just do this like you would a pretty regular Pyro playthrough. Fight your way through the first like 6 opponents and then farm, get yourself really strong. If you wanted to, you could go and upgrade deck leaders. It'd be really easy to duplicate Molten Behemoth, which would be just absolutely insanity. This deck would be absolutely incredible. You could put in passwords for all kinds of monsters that would really help this deck too. Like, this mod gives you a lot of options to make yourself very strong very quickly. You just have to be willing to do that. Neither of these equips work on these. But I want to make the Crimson Sunbird because of the mountain field. There was you could do the other fusion. Dark Rabbit plus the Winged Beast gives you Garvest. You can fuse that into Fire Yaru, and then you can double equip it. Then you have a 3100. And instead we get a hand like that. Cool. Good luck, Taya. Oh, that's really bad. Okay. I should have known that it was 3100, but oh well. The other one... the problem here is all of this doesn't fuse. Okay. There are draws that do it in this deck, so I'm not too worried. Oh, there's one of the cards that does do it. We're probably going to end up just Zertzing, but next turn I'm going to play a 3100. That's really good for me. Dark Beast Flight, so that thing's stunned. Now we just drop the... This one right here has to be a... this first card has to be a Dark Witch, so I don't have to worry about a Happy Lover or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know what the dragons are doing in this deck, to be honest. We'll just do this, see if she makes a big mistake, and... Well, that probably qualifies as a big mistake. This is going to do a decent amount of damage. We have a lot of burn spells in this deck, so chip damage is very much not negligible. Well, you can attack me, Tam. It's only a 500 defense creature. What could ever go wrong? Oh, I was afraid it was a rain temperature. I didn't want to lose my equips. Unfortunately, the only lethal is this, which loses the equips, but it's lethal, so it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, there's a lot of really decent cards in here, although I don't really need any of them in a Pyro deck, but like Rain Temperature and Happy Lover, if you're going for a really challenging playthrough, those two cards can bail you out quite a bit, so don't sleep on them. They both have the same effect to neutralize equips and other buffs on cards. So those are the cards that solo, like, zombie decks and stuff. I mean, I guess if you just level a fairy leader, it also solos zombies, but... One monster also soloing them is kind of sad. Well, and also Rogue Doll does too. It's a pretty bad state. To the end. For that class, for zombies. Just grab ourselves a couple more cards here. None of these are particularly good. Obese Marmot, probably the best card, and it's not great. I don't know why there's so many rocks here. Oh well. Nothing to really replace right now. Probably not going to get there until we farm Shoddy. We're probably more than strong enough with this many equipped to go beat these first several people. Mako's probably going to be the main challenge, and if we really have a problem with him, I can put in a forest from a password, and that should do enough. Well, that sure is a hand. If I drew a dragon with this, it's incredible, but the problem is there's no dragon in this hand. Just kind of dumping cards until I can find something decent. We don't need amazing, we just need decent. Well, that's decent enough. Just drop 500 damage into him. I think I'm greedy. This deck in this mod doesn't have like a Blackluster Soldier, or the ability to make one. Oh, that was game. Yeah, attacking with a 1300 attack creature is not a good idea, AI. Just putting that out there. Warriors are interesting because you can technically use them to make flame swordsmen. Those can then get fused to Vermilion Sparrows with another Pyro. Not my first choice, but fusions to go after, but it is available. It's going to be a lot better in Gemini too because of the effects that I gave cards. I don't quite remember what I gave everything. I actually definitely don't remember what I gave. But I know that Vermilion Sparrow had a good effect. I would say that Pyros are probably incredibly strong in that mod, but that's up for you guys to find out until I end up going through with videos. Interesting cards here. Karibo is a really good card, but I don't really have a slot for it. If we're gonna have these rocks in our deck, which I don't really like, we might as well make them cheap. I do want to kind of have them in the deck right now for making a twin-headed if I need it. It's not that helpful yet, but it will be very nice against Mako. If I can draw the cards for it. It does take quite a bit of luck to draw 3-card fusions, so... May I top deck that Duelist? That would be excellent. Duelist is probably the best possible card I could draw here. Cursebreaker Mine. Fusion, probably Punished Eagle if I were to guess, but it could be several other things. Yeah, Punished Eagle. Final Flame is kind of just pointless. The chip damage is probably not going to matter, so I'll just get rid of it. Unfortunately, Flame Swordsman's effect not very useful. Messing up dinosaurs is like, I mean, it's picking on the weakest guy on the you possibly can. It's not good. His hand's less than amazing. Good thing Mai's AI just gives you infinite time to go find whatever you want. Okay, well, there goes the twin-headed plan, but because I used the Spring of Rebirth, but this should be a decent enough plan. Ooh. This should be bigger than the Punished Eagles she played. I'm pretty close to just having enough of an overwhelming force to instantly win the game here. Okay, so this card's gonna be a Curse Breaker. At this point, I mean, I'm basically like... I'm acting like I can just see their face-down cards. It's disgusting. This is D-Terrain, not very useful. Chicken Bakudon is very awkward to use in this game. I'm worried this is a Mesmeric control. It's not, okay. 2 equips on something. Interesting. Bonk. Okay, Queen Bird, that's easily beatable. It also means her summoning power is going to be quite low. It was a Speller Trap. Oh, it's an invisible wire. Okay. I needed this fusion for the next duel. Okay, do that. Okay, can I get over this? Okay, you double equipped a Harpy Lady. Such devastation. Usually my favorite leader is like Flame Cerberus or Vermilion Sparrow for Pyro decks. They're both easy to fuse into, so they make great Pyro leaders. They get all the effects that really matter. The low-level effects for Pyro they're fine, but they're nothing special. So I don't usually go after them. Curse Breakers is really nice if you can get it, so we go for those. The Lady Sisters is an interesting one. But Curse Breaker is excellent, so we'll definitely be able to play that card. If I wanted to go for more of a Winged Beast style approach, I could definitely put those in. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put in the Kurama for the next duel, but I don't know, I'm not terribly interested in it. We do need to do a reincarnation, so I'm going to do that before I duel Mako here. There's not too many particular cards that I really need, but there's a bunch of like acceptably good cards that we want to make the deck better. Dark Rabbit's annoying because it doesn't fuse well, so we'll do that. Once Turtle's about the right for this. That is a really rare card to get from a reincarnation of a 18 deck cost card. We got 2 cards that weaken enemies on death. Or this one's on flip. One guy's honestly not bad. Oh. Okay. Well, let's see how we can do against Mako. If this goes well, we just draw it one-headed and the duel's over. Otherwise, this might get annoying, so... Let's go for the former. And I thought I slept in today. Didn't work. No, okay. You have to use a weak Pyro to get it to Marvelous first. I don't know if I should really be poking the bear like this, but... Terrifying. I don't like that. I don't like my opponent doing nothing. I'll have to equip this just to get it back to 2100. Well, he's gonna have infinite summoning power. And I don't need 2 rocks, so... Just do that. And if he's not going to do anything, I'm not going to go provoke him. Until I have everything I really am looking for to kill him. Okay, game, where are my 2 dragons? Hey, Mako. I don't know what's wrong with him. But I believe it was written somewhere that when your opponent is making an error, you should never interrupt them. Well, I just get to draw one card at a time until I draw what I need. Well, that is not what I need. A Flame Ghost at this point would be very bad for me. Yeah, I expected something like that, but... I wish I could have just been one base further forward. Maybe this will get me there in 2 turns? I don't know what he was doing. I'm just worried about getting killed on the crack here. Okay, tears. Fine. My opponent has played 2 traps. So definitely just attack him directly with something that isn't a Fire Eye. Nice. Okay. If you use the Fire Eye and then you get your twin-headed Shadow spelled, you'd be so sad. I have no idea what Mako was doing. His AI just broke horribly, and he doesn't usually break like that, so whatever. Nice, easy win. Go for the 3 in a row? Okay. Yep, pendulum machine. Awful. Garbage. Complete trash. Oh well. Well, we dealt with Mako. He's pretty much like the strongest opponent we could ever actually face with this deck. Besides like a Shizu. But a Shizu is going to be so late in the game that we're going to have, you know, everything we ever need to win, so... And usually a lot of people would have just farmed up beforehand. And he would be not even a problem. Flame Ghost is now useless. Lamoon? That's another really expensive card for this kind of reincarnation. Wolf. Rare, but not that rare. And a Sangan. Wolf is a very good card for a deck, though. Okay, so... I'm probably just going to make Flame Cerberus a deck leader between episodes and call it there. Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys are enjoying Gemini 2 this weekend. So, have a nice day.